Welcome to the BWISE podcast, PoliSports Briefs, where we unpack the politics behind the plays. Today's word, representation in sport. Because even when you think it's just a game, representation determines who gets visibility, voice, and how being seen changes who's believed and valued. Representation isn't just about showing up. It's about being seen, heard, and respected. In sport, visibility can shift culture and challenge stereotypes. Representation means the presence and portrayal of diverse groups within organizations and media, especially those historically underrepresented. Representation shapes what fans believe about who belongs. When young girls see black women like Serena Williams or Asia Wilson dominate, it redefines the image of excellence. Representation in sports is not simply about visibility. It's about who is framed as the face of the league, who is positioned as marketable, and whose excellence is treated as exceptional versus expected. During the 2024 WNBA season, Caitlin Clark was elevated as the central narrative of the league's growth, while dominant players like Asia Wilson and Angel Reese were often discussed reactively and comparatively rather than as foundational forces in the sport. This imbalance didn't occur in a vacuum. Media institutions made editorial choices that align with long-standing racial and gender norms about relatability, heroism, and consumer appeal. As a result, representation became less about performance and more about palatability. That kind of framing has material consequences. Sponsorship dollars, endorsement opportunities, and long-term branding equity are all influenced by repetition and narrative saturation. When one athlete is consistently positioned as the reason for the league's success, advertisers follow that storyline, even when the on-court data tells a more complex story. Meanwhile, players who are equally or more accomplished are often framed through limiting archetypes: the aggressive competitor, the physical player, or the controversial personality. These portrayals don't just affect how fans see athletes, they shape how corporations, media partners, and even league leadership decide who is worth investing in. Another example of representation shaping opportunity can be seen in coaching and leadership roles. Black women make up a significant portion of women's basketball players, yet they remain underrepresented in front office positions, broadcasting roles, and long-term coaching stability. Even when black women coaches achieve sustained success, their leadership styles are more frequently scrutinized, politicized, or framed as disruptive rather than strategic. Representation here isn't about absence of talent. It's about who is trusted with authority and who expertise is normalized. The result is a sports ecosystem where visibility on the court does not automatically translate into power off the court. Ultimately, representation in sports functions as a gatekeeping mechanism. It determines who gets grace during mistakes, who gets credit for growth, and who gets blamed during downturns. When media narratives consistently elevate certain identities while marginalizing others, they reinforce broader social hierarchies under the guise of entertainment. Sports then becomes a mirror of society, not because it reflects reality accurately, but because it reproduces the same inequities through storytelling. Understanding representation means recognizing that what we see, who we celebrate, and how often we see them directly shape who benefits from the business of sport. Representation isn't charity, it's truth. The more the media mirrors the real face of the game, the stronger the sports become. That's your BWISE PoliSports Brief on politics and sports. If you want to dig deeper into how representation shapes every play, catch the full 30-minute episode in our upcoming series, Sports as a Mirror of Society. like, share, and hit the subscribe button. And drop a comment. Because at BWISE PoliSports Podcast, we're a justice-centered media channel teaching politics through the lens of sports. Join PoliSports Nation and Respect Her Game advocacy group at www.respecthergame.online, where we don't just watch the game, we understand the system behind it, and we support the Black women athletes who play it. This is your host, Political Lil, reminding you that sports are never just about the games we play, but the stories we tell and the systems we expose. Stay tuned for our next PoliSports Brief, Labor Rights and Collective Bargaining in Sports, where we focus on the power of unity, how player unions change the business and politics of sport. Stay tuned, talk soon, and I'm out.